Welcome to Fresh Talk News Channel. Today, we dive into the latest updates on a story that's been making waves. Paul Dawn, the former director of Project 2025, has come forward with some surprising revelations about its connection to the Trump administration. Let's break it down. A year ago, Paul Dawn was the chief architect of what many believed would be the blueprint for Donald Trump's second term. But 8 months ago, he found himself in what some call MAGA exile. Dawn was the director of Project 2025 at the Heritage Foundation when, midway through the 2024 presidential campaign, the project became a political liability for Trump. Democrats warned of its radical agenda, claiming it would lead to a ban on abortion, the elimination of LGBTQ rights, and a consolidation of presidential power over federal agencies, even suggesting the elimination of some, like the Department of Education. At the Democratic National Convention, Saturday Night Live's Kenan Thompson famously held up a giant replica of the 900-page Project 2025 book, joking, "You ever see a document that could kill a small animal and democracy at the same time?" Here it is. Conservatives began blaming the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025 for hurting Trump's election chances. Trump himself repeatedly claimed he hadn't even read the document, stating on Truth Social that he had no idea who was behind it. In an interview with the Politico Deep Dive podcast, Trump campaign advisor Chris LaCivita even complained, "There was some stuff in there that we were like, where the hell did that come from?" Dawn became a sacrificial lamb. Pressured to resign from Heritage, he left in frustration at the end of July and later criticized LaCivita and campaign co-head Susie Wiles for what he called campaign malpractice. Now, living in Charleston, South Carolina, and working as a lawyer and government relations consultant, Dawn is letting bygones be bygones. He says he's delighted with how much of Project 2025 has become the Trump administration's playbook. In his first in-depth interview since Trump's return to the presidency, Dawn effectively confirmed what Democrats had been saying all along, and what Trump himself denied. Project 2025 and Trump's plans are nearly identical. Dawn even said he'd be happy to rejoin the team if the White House called. "It's actually way beyond my wildest dreams," he said. "It's not going to be the easiest road to hoe going forward. The deep state is going to get its breath back. But the way they've been able to move and upset the orthodoxy, while capturing the imagination of the people, portends a great 4 years." So, is the Trump administration's program the same as Project 2025? Dawn clarified, "I'm not saying that. I'm saying directionally, they have a lot in common. But so do great minds. We hoped the next conservative president would seize the day, but Trump is seizing every minute of every hour. You couldn't implement Project 2025 without Donald Trump's ability to bring people together and Elon Musk's ability to focus the direction of the work. But here's the big question. If what's being implemented now is essentially Project 2025, did Trump mislead the public during the campaign when he said he had nothing to do with it? Dawn insists Trump told the truth, explaining that Project 2025 was created by the conservative movement, not Trump himself. It was done to say, "This is what we believe in. This is what we want to see in the next conservative president." Dawn also traced the roots of this agenda back further than Trump, targeting what he calls the federal administrative state, which he believes has been dominated by liberals since Woodrow Wilson's era over 100 years ago. "We needed to restore democracy by slamming the door shut on the progressive era," he said. "The common man didn't have the sense to rule his own destiny. That's the thinking we're fighting against." The conversation also touched on the role of federal agencies and the president's power. Dawn argued that the Constitution vests executive power solely in the president, and over the last century, unelected bureaucracies have encroached on that power. If the president's policies are impeded by an unaccountable bureaucracy, that's a problem that needs reformation, he said. But critics argue that Trump's administration has focused more on political agendas, like attacking diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs, rather than addressing fraud or waste. Dawn defended Trump, citing examples from the State of the Union address about questionable expenditures in agencies like USAID and the Treasury Department. However, many of these claims have been debunked, including allegations of widespread fraud in Social Security payments. Don also discussed his time at the Office of Personnel Management, OPM, which he called the motherboard of the deep state. He emphasized that personnel is policy, and if the president wants to deliver on his promises, it all depends on the staff beneath him. He praised Trump's efforts to reform federal agencies, including the potential elimination of the Department of Education, a long-standing target of conservatives. When asked if he regretted criticizing Trump's campaign team last summer, Don quipped, as Frank Sinatra would say, "Regrets I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention." He also expressed optimism about the future, saying, "This is going to go on for multiple administrations. I do aspire to rejoin public service one day. So, watch this space." So, what's the takeaway? Project 2025 and the Trump administration's agenda are more aligned than many thought. Whether that's a good or bad thing depends on where you stand. But one thing's for sure, the debate over the future of federal power is far from over. Thanks for watching Fresh Talk News channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. See you next time.